everybody. Welcome to the Makerthon, the Spring Fling, and I am so excited to be here today to show you a unique craft. And we're going to be using 2x6 wood, and then I cut these down to 7.5 inches. And I went ahead and sanded the edges just to kind of knock them off. And what we're going to make with this piece of wood, I cut 3 of them because you're going to need 3. We're going to make a book stack, but it's going to be with wood. So first, and we're going to be putting this stencil on it today, which is Your Life, Your Story, Write Well, Edit Often. And it comes in this pack right here, which is our Believe quotes. So let's get started. I did do some prepping and I painted books, but I didn't paint this one because I wanted to show you. So you will need your 3 pieces of wood, and you're going to want to, for your top book, you're going to want to paint the top and then of course all 4 sides. Okay. And you're going to do that the same with your bottom book. Okay. Because that's what's going to be showing. You don't need to do this part. Just do a little bit of the edge. That way when you stack them, you're not seeing the raw wood. So this is my middle book, and I only need to do the 4 sides and then a little bit of that overlap. So I have my Blessed paint from Amy Howard at Home, not Blessed, I'm sorry, Ballet White from Amy Howard at Home. And I've already popped my lid off. And this is a fun little tip. I like to just kind of store my sponge brushes in a baggie if I'm continually working on a project. That way I don't have to wash my brush every time. So kind of a little cheating. But we're going to kind of load up our brush with some paint. And then on these end pieces, you might have to push down in there because there's all these little grooves of the grain. Unless you wanted to sand and sand, which I hate sanding, so I didn't do that. I did sand it a little bit. And I knocked the edges off any of the little rough pieces and then just kind of rounded the corners to make it look a little bit more like a book. So we're just going to go around and paint our edges. And of course, wood's not perfect. You're going to have little knots and things like that. But I think it just gives it character. This is just a fun little thing. I make these all the time. It's kind of, I just love them. I love giving them as gifts. You can always personalize them as well with our, and then we're going to set this off to the side to dry. With our alphabet stencil, the number 4 alphabet stencil, which is kind of like a typewriter font. So you could spell whatever word you wanted to with that. I know that that one works really well on that size of block. So again, that was just a 2x4 block that I cut down to 7.5 inches. And now, here's another set that I already did. So you can see I painted the top of each one, or the top and, well, that one, it's turned the right way. So you've got your top book with the top painted in all 4 sides. Your middle book, you don't have to paint the whole thing. You're just going to kind of do the little edge. And then your bottom book, all 4 edges and then the bottom. So now we're going to take our stencil and our gel art ink. I love this stuff. Seems like everyone does. The other presenters were using it as well. And then one of our spreaders. And I'm just going to cut this down to size so it's a little more manageable to work with. I'm going to cut this again because I'm going to be using a different color on a little tag we're going to make to embellish this. So let's see. And I've already did this middle book, Your Story, because the Write Well is going to get tucked under it. Okay. So let's start with our first book. Put this off to the side. Make sure I got the front. Yes. I don't know why I've got my books all mixed around. There we go. Okay. I don't really want to be. So I'm just gonna put my stencil, and you're gonna lose a little bit of your Y, and you're just gonna burnish it on there, and you can see you're gonna lose just a little bit of the top and the bottom of your Y, but that's okay. And if you want to, you can tape over this Maker Studio, that way you don't accidentally get your gel art ink in there, and then you have that on your project. See, looks good. And then we're just going to put this on with our spreader. Let's get this S down here at the end. Done. All right. And then peel it up and to reveal it. See? So there's your first book. That's your top book. I'm going to put that off to the side to dry. So now we're going to tuck the Your Right Well underneath this. And how I line it up is I try to look for the tails of my Y, and a little bit of the T is going to be in my well. And then just make sure you got it straight. I hope you can see that. So, just like that. Okay? And then we're just going to do the same thing with our gel art ink. Just make sure it's pushed down really well so you don't have any gaps. I need to get a little bit more gel art ink here. Okay. And there's our middle book. And then our last book. This is going to be the Edit Often. And you're going to want to make sure that your F, I guess I always think that the F is the most important thing to get the whole thing on there, and then go from there. So see, you're going to lose just a teeny bit of that D, the top part, but the often and everything will be on there. So, and then just make sure it's pushed down really well. I'm going to get a little more ink. Oops, I probably gave myself too much. There we go. And there's our last book. All right, so we're going to set these off to the side. I'm going to pop this in my water bath. That way the product doesn't dry into the water, dry into the mesh stencil. And we're going to try to put some of this back because I got a big glob out. We'll just set that aside with my stencil. So with those dry, these are going to need to dry for a little while. So now I want to embellish the book stack. As you can see behind me, I have some that I already did. And I love making these little tags and this little tassel. I just feel like it adds more to the book stack than if it were just the book stack. So I have these little tags here. These were just plain and I painted it white. And I believe I got these from Dollar General, but you know, you can find tags everywhere. Dollar Tree, Dollar General, you can use whatever kind of tag you want to use. And we got a little bit of greenery. We're gonna have some twine. We're gonna do the bird stencil because it's spring. And a little bit of tape. And I'm gonna use Hey Y'all because I don't know, this one just screams spring to me. And it kind of is more of a neutral spring color. That way it's not gonna overpower any of your decor. So we're gonna take about an arm's length of this thinner twine. And first we're gonna put this bird this bird on this little tag that I've already pre-painted with the white. So you're going to just place your little bird on your stencil. You can have them however you want. And this is just from the bird stencil. But I just thought it was fun for spring. And I lost my other piece of spreader I had cut, but I have a spare one. And again, the gel art ink. I love this stuff. And this is the Hey Y'all. It's like a turquoisey color. All right. This to the side. Make sure you close your inks so they don't get dried out. And then we're going to peel this up. And look how cute that is. All right, let's set this off to the side so it can dry. And we're going to pop the little birdie into our water bath. So we're going to take the jute that we just cut. And I already have a bird. This one's a different one that I already did. That way, drying time. I only have a lot of time to do this. So we're going to stick our 2 little tails through the hole and then grab this loop and grab the tails and pull. So then you got a tag, okay? Then you're going to come up just a little bit and we're going to make a knot because we're going to add some beads to this. And I like to tape, it's just a little trick, tape these ends. It just makes it easier trying to get the beads through those teeny little holes. So just wrap it around just like that. Okay, and I've got a couple of these right here. So I've kind of got that. Oops, I just threw it. That one has the gel art ink in the Hey Y'all. So we're just gonna have to move on without that bead. So normally you'd have the 3 beads. So you thread them here. So we're just gonna do 2 because I lost that one. Now I'm sad, but that's okay. So you've got your 2 beads and I'm just gonna snip off. See how easy that was to thread with that little trick? So we're gonna snip that part off and then we're gonna just tie a knot. So our beads stay. Okay, now we're gonna make the little tassel part for it. Now I'm just gonna use a little sanding block. You could use a little notebook, you can use this little tag if you wanted to. And we're gonna take a little bit thicker jute and it's got a variation of colors in it. And we're just gonna start wrapping around this, probably about 12 to 15 times. There we go. That was 15. Excuse me. So now you've got a little bundle just like this. So now we're going to take these 2 pieces and we're going to tie a knot around this bundle of twine we just made. And then after you kind of tie that first knot, just make sure that you get your beads lined up so they're right on top. They're in the middle. And then we're going to double knot that. So we're going to do 2 knots. All right, and then we'll just tuck those tails in like that. Excuse me. And then we're going to need another piece of twine. And this is just my little trick. Just your whole arm's length and then to your shoulder. We're going to cut it. And then you're going to want to hold this and create a little tail. Okay? And then just make sure all your pieces are brought down and taut. And then you're going to take this piece and you're going to hold your little tail. Excuse me again. And then you're just going to start wrapping. So you're going to wrap down. You're going to go down your little tassel and then you're going to work your way back up. And then just kind of work it around until you get to where you kind of got 2 little ends that are about the same. And you're going to take it around to the back of the tassel. And we're going to tie 2 knots. And then we're just going to snip these. Easy. And then we're going to go ahead and snip all of these little loops. And then you see all those that are uneven, we're also going to snip those. Giving them a little haircut. Make them all the same. Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, we're going to put that off to the side. So we got our little tassel made. We got our little piece of greenery that we're going to embellish. And now, let's bring one of our book stacks. So this is one that I've already done and everything's already dry. That way I don't touch it and mess up everything I just did. So you're going to stack them up and align them. Okay, and then we are actually going to need our twine again. And this is just the thinner twine. And what I like to do is I like to kind of, just to make it easier, put your books kind of off of your workstation. That way you can get under it a little easier. And we're just going to create another long tail over here. And then we're going to wrap this. And make sure you're wrapping it tightly so your books stay together. And then just kind of fix your books. Like 3 to 4 times. Around this way. I think we're going to do 4. There we go, 4. Then cross these 2 around. And then we're going to go this way. So then we can just kind of lay them like this. And you can always cut a long piece of string if that's easier for you than doing it this way. And we're just going to do 3 times. So there we've got that, and then we're going to cut a long tail off of this end. And then we're just going to tie these 2 strings in a knot. You can use thicker jute, you can use ribbon, colored ribbon, any kind of ribbon you want, this kind of ribbon. You can use anything you want to kind of embellish your book. I'm just kind of showing you what I do to embellish mine. So you've got your little twine pieces. We'll kind of get them a little straighter. Or you can have them all messy, it's up to you. So let's set that over there. All right, then we have our little piece of greenery. He's going to go in the top, just like that, slide it under. And you can kind of work him through some of the twine as well. Excuse me. And then we're going to take the tag we made. We're going to slide it under. And then I just twist it a couple times so that he's just going to stay there, and then this is going to kind of hang off this side. So there's this one that we made. And then I have a couple other ones to show you that I've already made. So this one I made with 1x6s in the wood department at Lowe's. And I think I cut these ones to 9 inches. And so this is just our US map stencil. And this is Home is Where the Heart Is. And then again, I embellished it with a little tag and added a different stencil to that. Then I have this one back here. And these letters are from the Lodge stencil. So you can spell your own words. You can write whatever you want on your book stack. You could put your family's names. This one I did another little bird on the tag, some different greenery. So, I mean, the possibilities are endless. These ones are actually real books. You can go find books, Dollar Tree or Goodwill. And this one, I used the French script stencil and put a piece of thicker jute ribbon on it. And then to make it look a little bit more springy, I popped these little spring colors in there, these little lavender pieces. So I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys had fun, and I hope you enjoy watching everybody else. Don't forget to enter the giveaway that's at the top of this post. We're giving away so many cool prizes, and I have had so much fun today showing you guys this craft. And I hope you enjoy everyone else's here to follow. And again, don't forget to register for the giveaways. Thank you so much, and you guys have a great day.